Hello and welcome to another episode of Clark and Addison Born into the Ivy. We are your hosts, David and Eli, here to talk about the first official series for the 2026 season. It was about as disappointing as it could have been, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
1 and 2. I really didn't think that was going to be possible, did you?
Not at all.
The Nats have some good players, but this is probably one of the best outings today that I can't think of his name. Jake Irvin has had in a minute. You know what I mean? They kicked Miles Michaelis's butt. I said that they shouldn't start him, but they did. Thank God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Ken Cavalli did well. I thought that game was more about how bad Boyd was, though. And do you watch much on the social media during the games at all?
No.
So people were all up in arms about Ben Brown coming in and giving up that home run, instead of being pissed about how much Boyd had let up. Like, everybody's trying to give, well, not everybody, but I saw a lot of people trying to give Boyd a pass and all over Ben Brown. Don't get me wrong. I was frustrated and disappointed that Brown gave up that home run right away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he was left in a tough situation too. Frankly, I didn't like that he used Ben Brown first coming out of the bullpen in that situation. He's new to the reliever role, and you're going to throw him into a situation like that right away? That doesn't seem like a good way to build confidence, does it?
No.
I mean, if he gets so my guess is the thought process was he's got a really good chance outside of Palencia to come in and get the strikeout. I can understand that to an extent. Maton would have been better to me. Thielbar. I mean, there's a whole lot of guys that would have made a whole lot more sense to me than Ben Brown in that situation. Like I said, I can understand the thought, what needing to strike out, wanting him to come in and hopefully get that. But I thought he was set up to fail. What do you think about it? Am I reading too much into that? Am I trying to find excuses?
Not at all. Right. He should have gone with Phil Maton for sure, or even Hunter Harvey. He would have been a good one to go with too.
Yeah. It was a big moment, and my guess is the argument against Harvey would be it's really early still, blah 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 blah. But it was obviously a key integral part of the game. Why wouldn't you bring in at the very least bring in Jacob Webb in that situation?
Mm-hmm.
A guy who's used to coming in that kind of situation. I thought it was unfair to start Ben Brown out that way in his reliever role this season. And perhaps maybe that's why he should have started in AAA as a starter still, and then you could use Gavin Hollowell in that kind of kick in that situation.
Right.
I don't know.
I think they need something with Hobie Milner.
Though. He struggled today, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he's good.
He has a history of being good, but I saw a stat today. So I went to a wedding halfway through the game, as you know, but not everybody on here knows. And my cousin Julie's son Ethan got married today to his high school sweetheart. It was a really great wedding. Fantastic. I love those kids. Great kids. She used to work for me. So I know both of them. You know what I mean? Which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, great wedding. But on my way to, actually, I think I was sitting in the pew waiting for the wedding to start. So sorry about that. But I'm watching the game, like keeping up to the game. I'm not watching the televised, but I'm keeping up on game day. And a stat came up that Hobie Milner, because he's getting ready to give up the 2-run homer, and in 2024, his barrel rate was like 2-point-something%. Last year, it was 9.2. It jumped big time. So Milner's got good track record, especially with Council, because he played for the Brewers before he did the Rangers last year. But I haven't been impressed at all with that young man in the spring, and I certainly wasn't today. So I think you're onto something. I get that was a long-winded way of saying you're right, Eli. um, I haven't been terribly impressed with Jacob Webb, but I didn't feel like he struggled as much in the spring either. Did
Mhm.
you?
No.
Uh, I still think Webb or Hunter Harvey. I think you're right on. Hunter Harvey would have been the best
Yeah,
option
Hunter
instead of Ben
Harvey's
Brown.
balling.
And he looked good today.
Yeah, he
Palencia
did.
gave up 2 hits I saw today. Got a strikeout, but he hadn't pitched much since he's come. I think he
Right.
only had one more spring outing after he got done with the WBC. So there may be a little bit of rust there too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so Shota struggled early, ended up giving up 4 runs, 6 and a third, or no, six plus. He didn't get the third out. And Boyd struggled. Are we? I'm not convinced that we have the right setup with the rotation. I think that Council once again is more worried about the right, left than setting up the top 3 starters. Do you agree? I'm not. I was very excited for Boyd. I don't think Boyd was the right. He just didn't perform. You know what I mean? And then things happen. I don't understand why Shota was the 3.
Mhm.
Given everything else, it made more sense. I get Cabrera got knocked around some at the end of the spring, but he looked really good in the early spring. And I think he would have dominated the lineup better. And frankly, I think that and it's a small sample size, but I think the Nats have a better lineup against left-handed pitchers than they do right-handed pitchers. That Joey Weimer has not just this series. They said that it's a minimal sample size, but he's hit lefties really well in the majors and in the minors. Like he hits lefties very well. And he got 2 home runs this series. You know what I mean? I think that's the type of thing the council is paid to know
Right.
or get access to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
All right, I will get off of that unless you have anything else with the Nationals review.
I'd rather not talk about
Just get the hell
it.
past it, right, buddy? So, what did you think about Ian Happ batting third? He ended up batting third in all 3 lineups this weekend.
um, obviously, it's not a good idea.
I mean,
That's
he
not a
did
good
hit 2 home
position
runs.
for yeah. But again, like, how many times has he struck out? Did he strike out like 6 times, 5?
I'd have to double check. I know he had 3 in that first outing.
Right. And then I think he had struck out twice today.
He struck out once yesterday.
Let me see. Sorry.
No, you're good. He did have 2 Ks today.
Yeah. So he struck out 6 times. So
That's not great.
no.
That's more than Pete, man. Back Pete, I know he went 0 for 4 today, but he didn't have any strikeouts today.
Right. Yeah. I still don't like how they start. Sorry, going back to the Nationals series. I don't like how we're starting Conforto too. I think, I thought they'd at least switch him out. Like halfway through the game, put Shaw in, but they didn't even do that.
I know. I didn't like it either. I
Hmm.
really thought that Shaw. Well, I did say I thought that he would probably start one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I thought I don't think it was the right thing to do, but I'm not terribly shocked that that's what happened. So the opening day lineup. This isn't as big as I thought it would be. Sorry, guys, but can I make it a little bigger? Is that a little bigger?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's not available. Okay. Yeah, it is what it is. But opening day and today's lineup were very, very similar. The only difference was Shaw for Conforto, but half batted third in all of them. This is what I think they should do while Seiya is hurt. And then I'll tell you what I think they should do when he comes back. Horner, PCA 2. The reason I want to do PCA 2 is because I think that Bregman behind him gives him ultimate protection,
Mhm.
especially with Bush as 4. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to pitch around Pete or do anything. You know what I mean? They're going to be aggressive to try and get him out, which is going to get him more hittable balls. And with Bregman and Bush right behind him, my only concern with this lineup is I don't feel like Bush has enough protection. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, with Kelly and Amaya, but I think that we could do worse for sure. And I think
Mhm.
that Swanson behind Hap as a 7 hitter is a good protection for Ian. Ballesteros is going to end up moving up this lineup. There's no doubt in my mind about it. But for now, Moises Ballesteros as a 6 or 8 hitter is really freaking good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think Matt Shaw had a great spring. Yeah, I think he's coming into his own, and he's going to plug in here and there for some of this. When Seiya comes back, I like Horner, PCA, Bregman, Bush, and Seiya. I really kind of struggle with Seiya at 5 because it takes away possibly some at bats if he was like the 3. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
But I think that he is. I think you could switch he and Bregman, or even he and Bush. I think this is the best if they want to keep the right, left. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think that this second one with Seiya is an excellent lineup. What do you think? Is there anything you would switch? Do you like better?
No, yeah, I like your lineup. Your lineup is, I feel like is a lot more logical. Ian Happ at 3 just pretty much just throws everything off. I mean, I understand where Craig Counsell's going with the rest of it. I mean,
Yeah,
that stuff looks pretty. I mean, I really like Alex Bregman at the 2 spot,
I do too.
but
I just think
he,
he adds more protection
right.
in the 3 spot behind Pete.
Mhm.
Because I thought about putting Bregman, Horner, Bregman, Pete. I don't know that I want Pete at 3. I don't know that Bush gives him the same protection Bregman does. And it invites a lefty to come in later in the game against back to back that way.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I get what they're saying with that, especially at the top of the lineup. I don't know. Tell us what you think about this. Either of these lineups. Does anybody like those lineups better than what they ran out with Ian Happ in the 3 spot? Don't get me. Ian hit 2 home runs. He had some nice swings this weekend, but he also had the 6 Ks. And if he's not going to lead off because he doesn't want to lead off, I think he needs to be down in the lineup. I mean, if Sayok comes back and goes in the 3 hole, are they going to put Ian in the 4 hole? Or are they going to leave Pete there? Hopefully they leave Pete there. I'm not convinced of that, though. Are you?
No.
What do you think?
Trying to
I
see
don't.
who could fill in for that 4 hole. I mean, Bregman wouldn't be bad
I don't
in
think
that 4
Bregman's
hole
coming out of
spot.
that 2 spot.
Right. But
Not against righties, at least.
right.
Like
Well,
he
doesn't he
should,
hit better
but
against righties than he does lefties?
I don't know. I would have to double check that. But I think he's pretty even, a lot like
Yeah.
Tucker was. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Things to think about, but I like this a lot. I was hoping you would. I was hoping you were going to say that's trash, Uncle David.
I
you
think it's a
know.
good list. Uh-huh.
All right. So we talked about Pete got his 6 year extension. We got a whole lot more information about that. Really exciting for the guy. 6 years, 100 and was it 15? I think. Um, a
For
great
Pete, I
contract
think
for
it's
him. Yeah,
net.
for Pete. Pete got 6-year, $115 million. Deal runs from 27 to 32. Nico Horner also got a 6-year deal, if you haven't heard, and it runs from 27 to 32 as well. So they're both finishing out their existing contracts, and then they start. So I love that these two run congruent together, or concurrent together, and that they are teammates for the next 6 years. You know what I mean? Dansby is teammates with him until 29, and Bregman until 2030. That's a hell of a foundation for the
Right.
position player side, is it not?
I love it.
And Bush is with the team until 2030 as well, under control. Whether hopefully he gets some kind of extension as well. Terms for Pete, he got a $5 million signing bonus. 27 to 29, he will make $10 million. In 2030, he'll make $20 million. And in 31 and 32, he'll make $30 million. There are escalators that could increase the deal up to $133 million. So another $18 million. How that works against the CBA, I'm not real sure. I'm gonna have to check that out. But I think that these numbers are what count against what I just said, the 10, 20, and 30 are what counts against the CBA, ultimately. The other money, actually, no, it does go against it at some point. You know what I mean? I do know that. If he is traded, he gets a $1 million assignment bonus. I thought that was interesting. It's not much. You know what I mean? But he doesn't want to be traded. Like, he's been very, very clear about that. He becomes a free agent before his age 31 season. I thought this was an excellent deal for the Cubs and an excellent deal for Pete. You? Now that we know more specifics?
Yes.
He's the youngest player in MLB history to have 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, and win the Gold Glove. I've already talked about that before. I just think that's really cool. And I want to read this quote. Tell me what you think about this. I think this is one of the most unique baseball cities in the world. I would argue it's the best. It feels very personal, and I think that's been the coolest thing for me to learn about Cubs fans is the attention that they pay is real. He generally loves Cub fans, doesn't he?
Yes.
It's really, really cool to me. I'm totally excited about it. Nico Horner, he had a press conference. Obviously, I went to the wedding, so I have not been able to hear the press conference yet. So I will talk. We will want to talk more about that on the next episode, just to break that down. But he's got a 6-year extension for $441 million. Totally deserved. Every freaking bit of it. That breaks down to 23 and a half. With deferred money, it sounds like it's 22 and a half that goes against the CBA. I think that's an awesome deal for him, don't you?
Oh yeah, he's finally getting the money that he deserves.
But it's not breaking the bank for the Cubs either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And he's 100% worth it. They're not going to be able to sign everybody to these massive deals, right?
Mm-hmm.
But fourth biggest deal to a second baseman ever. Isn't that cool?
Do what?
It's the fourth biggest second baseman signing ever. Contract.
Who's number one? Cattell?
Robinson Cano.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured it'd be Cattell Marte.
Robbie Cano got a huge deal back in the day. It was like $200 million.
Oh wow!
I can't remember who was number 2. I know that Altuve was 3. Dang it, I don't know. You would think that Ketel Marte or Bryce Terang might end up breaking that at some point. You know what I mean? Some of that. So we'll see. And there's some other second basemen, but Bryce Terang, I hate that guy, but I don't hate the guy. That's the problem. Because I hate the team he plays for, but
right. Very good ball player.
Really exciting. It just gives them a really good core position of players to build around. And I love that 3 of those 4 are up the middle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If Miguel Amaya proves himself to stay healthy this season, I hope that they'll look at an extension for him.
I think he's going to be quite dangerous this year.
I do too. Did you see
I'm
that home
excited.
run he hit yesterday? That was so sweet.
Uh huh.
That was sweet. I'm telling you, he's going to end up pushing for more playing time. I don't know you agree with that. I'm excited about it. Jason Hayward, the speech hero from 2016, who helped give the rah-rah speech before they went back out in the rain delay in Game 7, has officially retired. The contract they signed him to, it never lived up to the hype by any means, but he was still part of the 2016 World Series team,
Hmm.
and he was just an all around really great guy too. You know what I mean? So
Right.
much love to him. I wish it had worked out better when he was with the rest of that contract, but for that 1 year, he was a big part of behind the scenes things with the team,
Right.
and always played great defense. He just struggled
Hmm.
offensively. And last but not least, we're going to do an Angels preview. The Angels, surprisingly, also went 2-1 against the Houston Astros, taking the first two of the series before dropping the last game. They scored 18 runs in the series while they gave up 13. Most of that was in the last two games. Actually, really the last game. Not too bad for a team not expected to do well this year. Mike Trout and Nolan Chanel both led the team with 2 home runs against Houston. This is not a team to just gloss over. The, the Cubs on paper appear better, but that doesn't mean they can afford to look past the Angels. Monday's starters will be Ryan Johnson versus Edward Cabrera. On paper, that would look like money, don't you think, in that game?
Right.
On Tuesday, though, is Jose Soriano, who went 6 innings of scoreless ball in his opening start against the Astros. He would go against Jamison Tino. That doesn't look so great on paper.
Hmm.
And then on Tuesday, we got Yusei Kikuchi versus Matthew Boyd. I would say that's a toss up, to be honest. I think Boyd should be better, but I don't know. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
What are your thoughts about this series?
I think the Cubs should go 2-1. But
Yeah,
right now, I tell you what, Mike Trout,
he looks on fire.
he's looking good. And
He,
you know what? I'm honestly happy for him. You
just not
know,
against us.
yeah. With all of his injuries, I just hope he stays healthy. But I'd love to see Mike Trout ball out
I
again,
would
just
too.
not on us.
I would too. Mike Trout, I think, gets shit on quite a bit
Hmm.
because of the injuries, and I get it. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I think that we forget how good this man is when he's healthy,
Hmm.
and I would love to see him have a healthy season and just kick some butt. I would love that for him. Just not these next 3 days. I think that the Cubs got to hit more. To have 4 hits today, 3 of which were home runs, is just inexcusable. Like they've got to hit better. And they pitched against or hit against a guy who they've had good numbers against, Jake Irvin. So that was disappointing. Hopefully they come out. I think they're going to have troubles against Soriano. You know what I mean?
I
Um,
think so too.
but that just they got to get those other 2 games then if that's going to be what happens. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The Angels bullpen is nothing to write home about by any means. So hopefully they can get past that and get into the bullpen and knock some around. I kept thinking they were going to do the same thing against the Nationals, and they only did that Saturday. They didn't at all Monday or Thursday and today. So I was disappointed with that because the Nationals last year had one of the worst bullpens in the league. Also, did you see my shirt?
I do. I think mine's in my closet.
Is it?
Yeah.
I went to because I changed out of my tie and my coat, and I thought, what shirt am I going to wear? Oh yeah, this will be a good one. I haven't worn it for a minute on here, so awesome. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave some comments. Tell us what you think about the lineup that we propose, or that ultimately I propose. Eli liked it, so that was good. I was hoping he would. Um, and let us know what you think about those things. Tell us what you're expecting with from the Angels, and how disappointed you were with the National Series, because we both were. It was
Yes.
definitely disappointing, and the players were too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So thank you very much. Like it, subscribe, share it with your friends if you have any friends. I don't have any friends, but except Harry. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Let's
Go
go,
Cubs.
Cubs.